Everybody, I've just come back from training myself, and we're gonna make another video in the Israel Adesanya hatred series. And we're gonna just bounce right into it. I'm gonna tell you about this. I was sat in the car earlier, right? I was driving to work, on my way to work, and I was sat thinking. I was like, all the stuff that I see of Israel, him jerking off his dog, him, dyeing his hair, him coming out with all this stuff, and mouth feeding his dog cream and stuff like this. And I've seen a lot of people on Twitter tagging like animal rights activists and all this stuff, and the guy's a weird guy, but I feel like this is what we're going to speak about. Okay, if Conor McGregor jerked his dog off, he would be absolutely blasted by the media. This tough guy jerking his dog off, it's just weird. But when Izzy does it, is that normal? Because MMA media doesn't talk about this type of things. Or even when this happened months and months ago, MMA media ignores it. MMA media defends Izzy. MMA media says Dricus is in the wrong. You know what I mean? This is what I'm trying to get across now. One of my favourite fighters is Conor McGregor. I remember watching his documentary and bawling my eyes out 30 seconds into the first episode, just because of he got me into the sport. He paved the way. He has done all this. And he has done terrible things. And I've been so angry being a fan of him. Like, what are you doing? You've gone off the rails. You've lost motivation. If he had wanted to fight by now, he would have fought, So it's just, loads of things go into being a fan, right? I understand that completely. But I would never justify his actions without backbone. I would never justify him smashing up that bus. There was no excuse for that. Never justify him doing any of the bad things. Punching an old man in a bar, that doesn't get spoken about. What's that about McGregor? And you're a massive superstar, Israel Adesanya, superstar-wise, is nothing. He's not a superstar. He's not really that much of a draw. Or he is more now than he was about a fight ago. The whole losing to Pereira, then knocking him out again, made him a bigger star, absolutely. However, also, I don't know how you can sit back and be like, oh, this guy's incredible, when he's literally saying, all I need to do is beat him once. You're 1-1 in MMA. There should be a fucking trilogy. You know what I mean? Not, I don't make scores, I settle them. It's like, if Robert Whittaker beat you and said that, everyone would die laughing. But obviously, Whittaker's not going to do that just yet. So, or if, I don't know. You see the point there? If Marvin Vettori comes back, wins, I don't said so. I come up with all this, an excuse not to fight Adesanya again. A very tough fight, very tough, durable guy. He's a phenomenal fighter, Adesanya, right? But the fact is, and these videos are typically me just rambling. I don't really have a script. For my previous videos before the Adesanya series, I had a massive script before it, and I kind of just go off the cuff with these ones, and I feel like people quite appreciate that. But if one of my friends put a video on Instagram, right, one of my friends, of them literally wiggling their dog's dick, literally wiggling it around, camera right on them, filming it, and put that online, I'd message them straight away and say, what the fuck is wrong with you? Why are you grabbing your dog's genitals and wiggling them around on camera for social media and for the world to see? First of all, that's absolutely outrageously weird and so bizarre. I don't think if any Adesanya fans comment defending him, saying that is not fucked up and weird and there's something wrong with him, and the fact that people don't say this is the type of man we're dealing with, he wiggles dogs' penises, there's weird stuff people do with their pets, of course, but that is bizarre. That is fucked. And you can say, oh, you wouldn't say that if McGregor did it. If Conor McGregor posted videos wiggling his dog's dick, I wouldn't be a fan anymore. He punches old guys in bars. He does all this. I'm not a fan of him now. But the way he used to be made me feel a certain way, and I will always treasure that, right? And Adesanya used to make me feel the same. There was definitely a point in time where Adesanya was my favourite fighter. After he fought Anderson Silva, I was in awe of him. Literally, I thought, oh my god, this guy is great. He's fun, he's creative, and then, he just started being a bit sus, a bit weird, not quite correct. The frozen, Elsa thing, and MMA media eats it up. They don't come out and say, oh, it's a bit cringe, it's not quite what we're looking for in a champion. You know, it's bizarre. The cringe is unbearable. The silly t-shirts, the I'll leave you frozen like Elsa. What is that about, man? Like, please. Like, that's crazy weird. And the dog thing, that is not... This video is mainly me saying MMA media completely ignores this. Joe Rogan on his podcast with Sean Strickland beat around the bush so much when it came to remotely in any way disrespecting Israel. Right enough, but you can't sit back and be like, oh no, I don't want to see that because I won't be a fan. You know, that's the thing. You have to just understand that this is the type of person we're dealing with here. Now, I wish Israel Adesanya nothing but the best in life, in happiness, in the octagon. He's a phenomenal fighter, a phenomenal champion, but I can't like someone that wiggles their dog's willies. Like, it's weird. It's so weird. Like, that is so messed up. And if anyone I knew ever did that, I'd be like, what are you doing? You must be going through something. You know, as a child, did you go through something that makes you feel like you don't... Some people just don't know where they stand mentally when it comes to what they should do and shouldn't do, I feel. And I feel like it comes from a place of maybe trying to impress people by not being yourself. I don't think he's authentic at all. I think he's maybe not quite there all mentally. I think he might not be being quite authentic. He might be a wee bit confused, not quite sure of himself, you know. Feeding your dog with your mouth, people do that, but when it's cream and you're licking it off each other's like, it's just... And then wiggling his willy on camera, like, that is bizarre. Adesanya fans, you can't say that's regular. Like, I'm truly struggling to see why Daniel Cormier and DC, RC, and why they just ignore and give this guy any credibility. He's got credibility in the fight game. Of course, he wins fights. He's a phenomenal champion. And he does very well, but he's got no credibility in terms of talking about situations and how people are when he jerks dogs off and this whole thing. And I be off to anime and all this. And Sean Strickland is an unreal legend. I love him. He's so blunt. He's so real. He just says it how it is. He's weird and he's horrible and he's maybe not the nicest individual, but he's a good personality to have. He's a great personality for the sport. And I'd rather an MMA champion be an outrageous mental person than a pink-haired guy who jerks off his dog. Adesanya becoming more famous maybe gives him more room to be weird and to be like this because he's a big figure, he's a powerful figure, but I wonder if people around him just ignore it. I wonder if like Volkanovski ever goes, so man, why'd you jerk off your dog? You know, like this and that. Bet you people don't say anything, they're just aware of it. People in the circle just know it. And like, I'm just saying, I just got back from running not long ago, but I was thinking about this. If I was grappling with somebody, knowing that they've like had their dog's genitals in their hand, like playing with them, and like not knowing if they do that often or like if they've ever made the dog, and it's like, I wouldn't want to be grappling with, it's like, it's unbelievable. I can't get over it. And I've known about this video for a while, but I just thought, he's a really weird individual, a really weird man. But then all this coming up, I don't think that media should give him any respect or any credibility when it comes to talking about another person and what they should believe in. Because clearly you believe that's okay to touch a dog's genitals and do all this and do all that just for fun on camera, So it's just baffles me completely, and I'm quite overcome with emotion about it as well, because like I'm just baffled. What's your thoughts, people? Tell me your bleeding thoughts. I'm absolutely gobsmacked by this and how the media ignore it. I say media because MMAfighting.com doesn't post about it. MMA Hour ignores it whenever anybody, they don't talk about Adesanya being a weird guy. Because why? It's because he's a superstar. Is that right? You don't want to upset the superstar? Well, I don't care about upsetting the superstar. I've got no platform. I've got no relationships, and even still I'll try to be as honest and as unbiased as possible. However, this video is literally about why do the media ignore him violating his dog? Why do they ignore him being a hypocrite? That's the thing. Daniel Cormier got so much stick for arguing both points, and then he came out and did a public apology because people are not there's people in my comments ripping into me. I've received death threats on Twitter, Instagram, all of this stuff. Proper death threats about saying what they're going to do and all this. Only because I said Israel Adesanya is full of shit and he's a hypocrite. That's not an opinion. Israel Adesanya is a hypocrite. That was fact. That was said, and people took that as me giving a wrong opinion and sent me death threats for that. Your champion wiggles his dog's willy. Your champion does this, and you defend him and say, "Oh well, he had to do it. His dog was lonely." You know, like, I'm not going to stop making these videos because I'm needing to get these points across, and there's no really other good MMA content to make right now. So have a little think about that, people, please, and just sit back and realize where I'm coming from here. Like, this man is a weird individual. I don't think he should be given much credibility when it comes to telling people how to live their lives or what to do, or stay in New Zealand, stay in your little house and stay happy. As long as he's happy. And this video is not trying to tear him down, but it's turning the media down to actually kind of get a grip. Like, this man's a weird man. If he wasn't an MMA fighter, if he was a news presenter, and a video and a news presenter put on Instagram, we wouldn't hear from them again. You know, fair play to him for people just being like, "Oh, that's just Adesanya. That's just Adesanya. He just does that." Whatever. You know, subscribe, like, comment. Pushing for 1,000 subs by the end of the year. And we've got 5 more months to do it. So if any of you want to help me out, I'd really appreciate that. And I'll keep the content coming. I'm going to keep it coming strong. So, thank you very much, folks. I really appreciate you all. Massively respect it. I appreciate all the views, all the likes, all the positivity in the comments.